I'm Andy Kinney, and I have taught at Stevenson for more than 20 years. And thank you for your attendance. It's great to be back. Our first inductee, well, how do you turn a basketball program into one of the state's winningest for over 23 consecutive seasons? Fierce defense and strategic offense. And of course, that's the approach our first inductee takes towards his team's gym space. Fierce defense, strategic offense. Welcome, Pat Ambrose.
One page. Just notes. Well, thank you very much, Andy. I appreciate it. I just got a longer list of thank you and just a couple thoughts to share with everyone. Again, I would like to thank the committee for this great honor. I have attitude of gratitude. Trish Beddoes, we talked about. It's quite humbling for me to be up here in front of all these people and all the accomplishments. I'd also like to give congratulations to all those members that are being inducted with me today and the past members. I remember 2 years ago, and when Andy was talking about the Frank Matucci, it was quite amazing to see that the Hall of Fame get off the ground then, and as it continues, it's wonderful. Okay? I'd also like to say thank you very much to my social studies colleagues that are here supporting me as well. That's great. But the first thing I would start out, obviously, or most importantly, is my family. My wife Tracy, my sons Evan and Matthew are here supporting me, and that means a lot to me. We have quite a few administrators here that have supported me over the years. Trish Bedhauser's been fantastic to me. Mike Fay was on my staff as well too, so they're a big part of my journey here to get up here. I also like to share a little story. Dr. Dufour, who we're honoring today, was the superintendent that took a chance on a young coach, myself, years ago, Joel Finfer, and also John Martin was another person that was sitting across the interview table from me years ago, and was I nervous. And I think they just shook their heads and said, hey, this guy's got maybe a chance it might be okay. Let's give him a chance, So it's really neat for me today to have Dr. Dufour and John Martin also be inducted today on such a great day. I, of course, want to also thank all my assistant coaches over the year, and I think you probably know the one I'm going to thank the most, Paul Swan. He has been with me every step of the way, and he is my right-hand man and also in the Hall of Fame, and he really has been my guiding light for me over the years as an assistant coach. Others, Coach Pearl, Coach Swan, Coach Taylor, as I said, Coach Fay, have really made my job a whole lot easier. Players, of course, I've had some pretty good ones. You've heard of them, and they really have made my job much easier, just to kind of let them go, let them play. I'd also like to thank my mentors. My high school basketball coach, Dick Whitaker, was one that really got me into coaching and got me into kind of teaching. He died several years ago, and so every time I have any moment like this, I take definitely a time to thank him. I've had some other great mentors in college and high school, coaching stops along the way, Coach Wandro, Coach Schneider. None of you know them, but I always have to say them because they mean a lot to me. The last thing I'd like to say is that the recipe for being successful here at Stevenson really is a teamwork, and I really take that seriously because it's a team game. Basketball is, and we play both offense and defense, and we really kind of pull for each other. And developing young men and molding young men of character is really one of my main goals every year, and that is kind of pushed me along in my career and made me kind of the person that I am today. So in conclusion, again, I'd really like to thank everyone, thank the committee, thank everyone here today, and I'm very grateful and humble. Thank you.
Okay, the vision of our next inductee put Stevenson on the map. He was a champion for our coaches and established a legendary professional learning community that expected our teachers to work like great coaches, constantly collaborate about how to best instruct and how to best challenge our students and athletes with a tireless expectation that they will all succeed. Congratulations to Dr. Rick Dufour and his family.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody here, and I was fortunate enough to inherit some things from my dad. Silky smooth jump shot, pretty good tennis game, Olympic level ping pong playing, good looks, obviously. But one thing I did not inherit from him was a love of public speaking. So I'm just going to say thanks, and I know this award would really mean a lot to him. So thanks, guys.
No one better to introduce and talk about a staple of the early 90s cross country than a staple of early 90s cross country, John Schauble.
It's really nice seeing all of you today. Thank you, Trish, for all the hard work that you've done. Congratulations to the inductees. I've known Pat Joyce since he was a freshman or a sophomore here. One of the things that really made him very close to my heart is he was one of my first lifeguard students, and he was an awesome influence on the team. And one story I always like to share about him is when he was a freshman, his father took him into the sports center, showed him the plaques up on the wall with the state champions, and Jager was up there, and Mark Beebe, and not very many others. And his father said, "What's your goal?" And he said, "I want to be up on that wall." And every year I tell all of my athletes, I said, that's the kind of vision you have to have. You want to be the best. And Pat went on to be the best. State title in cross country and track junior and senior year, state champion in the 3,200 meter run, just an awesome person. Went on to North Carolina State with an All-American. I'm really proud to say I'm a friend, I'm a friend, and I hear from him quite a bit. He's doing really wonderfully, and just a great guy. Thank you.
I am extremely honored to be inducted into the Stevenson High School Athletic Hall of Fame. First, I would like to congratulate all the previous inductees and those being inducted with me this year. My time at Stevenson holds a special place in my heart and helped me become the person I am today. My success would not have been possible without my coaches, teammates, and the administration, and most importantly, my parents. They never missed a meet, and without their love, support, and guidance, my dreams would not have become possible. Thank you again, and I am so very honored.
I'd like to pitch the idea of a new Netflix show called The AD. Season 1 has our AD managing the championship goals, expectations, and occasional conflicts of the 4 M's: Mackie, Mitz, Matucci, and Ms. Hartwood. Season 2 sees the arrival of new characters: Lilydall, Ambrose, Cook, the Wimers, Crow, McNamara, and Bethhauser. Then in season 3, our AD will help them join forces as they face the newest and most intimidating rival that challenges all of their off-season preparations: Stevenson Summer School. Congratulations, John Martin and his family.
I just gotta say, I love the idea of that reality show. I've been on paternity leave for the last few weeks, so that would give me something to really get me through these sleepless early nights with a newborn, but I just want to start by saying I felt, as I walked down the halls, just a tremendous feeling of nostalgia, and I just had this big, sort of joyous smile on my face. I grew up here. It's just all these feelings came flowing back of being with my dad at sporting events on the weekends, just seeing how the campus has grown, seeing so many familiar faces, Trish, Chad, Dr. Twaddell, Steve Frost, Judy, so many people who just meant so much to my dad and mean so much to my dad. He's so sorry you can't be here today, but I am just filled with pride and gratitude for the opportunity to be here before you all and to just tell you how much Stevenson has meant to my father and to his family. Like I said, growing up around these halls, I joked to my wife on the way up here, I was probably the only 7-year-old kid who could recite in alphabetical order every single school in the North Suburban Conference. Knew everyone's football record to a T. I wore green and gold proudly. I said to someone at the table, it felt so good putting on green and gold this morning. I had such a happy feeling doing it. And before I read the remarks that my dad wrote for me to recite, and he would be very upset if I didn't do that, I just wanted to add that when I go to work every day, there's a picture of my father on my desk, and it's from probably about 1990, his first full year at Stevenson, and he's wearing suspenders and a kind of 80s, 90s pattern tie, and he's got a landline phone up to his ear, and he's got this great kind of look on his face, and I always chuckle to myself because it looks like he's on the trading floor at the Chicago Stock Exchange. But he wasn't there. He was here in the early days of Stevenson that many of you guys experienced, and he was spending all of his time and talent and effort working with so many of you to build the largest and most impactful high school athletic program in the state of Illinois and probably in the United States. And as his son, I am just so proud of him that he did that, and what an unbelievable legacy that is of his. So this is what my dad wanted to say to all of you and asked me to say. I'm very sorry that I'm unable to be there in person today, but I'm so proud and thankful that my son Patrick can be there for me. I would like to thank everyone at Stevenson, especially Trish Bettenhauser and the selection committee, for this honor of being inducted into the Stevenson Athletic Hall of Fame. My time at Stevenson was without a doubt the most rewarding part of my entire career, but not a single accomplishment would have been possible without the support of a dedicated, insightful Board of Education, superintendents, principals, and administrators who were all local and national education leaders, assistant athletic directors, office and support staff, building and grounds personnel who labored tirelessly on behalf of the hundreds of coaches and thousands of athletes who were the real champions of Stevenson High School athletics. Living now in a place where things are very different educationally and athletically has brought into very clear focus just how special the vision, the values, and the achievements of Stevenson High School truly were and are to me. My deepest thanks goes out to my entire family who supported me during the long hours and time away from home. There should be a special award for spouses like Caroline, who sacrificed so much to support me. I feel especially honored to be inducted into a class that includes the visionary superintendent, Rick Dufour, who hired me as athletic director, a man whom I worked hard to hire in his first head coaching position, and 2 exemplary, outstanding athletes who I had the joy of watching compete and excel. I could not have been more proud to host games and tournaments, or to travel away to events, or attend state and national meetings as a representative of the finest high school in America, with the best staff, coaches, and athletes in the world. I will always consider myself a patriot and still follow Stevenson teams on the internet and social media. I'm so grateful for having been blessed for the opportunity to be a part of something so special, and I'm truly honored to have been selected for this induction. Everyone, on behalf of my dad and my entire family, thank you so much. This means so very much to me. Thank you.
Records are made to be broken, especially with platoons of Stevenson swimmers training each year to surpass the fast girls who swam before them. So when you're touring the building to see all the changes we've had since 2007, be sure to look in the aquatic center for that one thing that seems not to have changed. Congrats to our longest lasting girls swim record holder, Ashley Wanland.
Also, just one page here too. Looks like 3, but it'll be quick. I just want to begin by thanking Trish Bedhauser and the rest of the search committee for considering me for this honor. Also, thank you to the entire athletic department staff for coordinating today's induction. I know there is a ton of work that goes into the planning of these events, let alone for 2 classes. So please know that your time and effort does not go unnoticed. Congratulations to the Hall of Fame inductees from both the class of 2020 and 2021. Your accolades are so impressive, and it really is quite humbling to be standing next to the greats of the Pates today. I'll keep these remarks brief, but I do just want to share a few words of gratitude. The first is to the administrators, Trish, Chad Dauphin, and John Martin, who's not here. Having worked on the administrative side of athletics now for 10 years, I have an enormous amount of appreciation for the work that you all do and currently did to uphold Stevenson's reputation as one of the best in the country. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your care and dedication that you hold toward making the experience for student athletes second to none. I am immensely grateful to have swam under 2 coaches for 15 plus years who cared more about me as a person than they did as an athlete. They're not here today, but I did want to acknowledge Carl and Eugene. Their encouragement helped me overcome some of my toughest obstacles and helped me achieve my highest goals. I was also surrounded by an incredibly talented group of teammates, many of whom are my closest friends today. You 5 are the only people who can make staring at a black line and swimming in circles fun, so thank you. For those who don't know, my husband Max also went to Stevenson, and while we can't say we're high school sweethearts, I know he would have been there every step of the way had he not been excelling on the football field, sprinting on the track, or sitting in the dean's office. Yes, I didn't even know there were deans here. Rick and Vicki, my wonderful supportive in-laws, thank you for flying all the way from Florida to be here today and sharing this part of my life. And lastly, family, to the 2 people I've looked up to my entire life, my 2-sport All-American sister Aubrey, Scholar Athlete Award winner Austin. I truly am only up here right now because I've tried so darn hard to keep up with you. So thank you for paving the way. Mom and Dad, it's impossible to put into words how grateful I am for the sacrifices you made, your unconditional love, and for teaching me that nothing beats hard work, humility, and heart. You probably don't know this, but before every race, I'd look for you 2 in the stands. That final fist bump, let's go! And for the extra reassurance that I had my #1 fans there. So thank you for your support throughout my entire athletic career, not just in high school. Your support enabled me to follow my passion. That all said, so proud to be a Patriot, and I have the absolute best memories from representing this high school, and it's solely because of the people who are here today. Thank you, go Pates.
Our next inductee could have been overshadowed by the sisters. Catching's my drift? But this 3-sport standout champion was also known for playing a dream half of basketball against Libertyville. Perhaps the greatest half of basketball ever played by a Stevenson athlete. She's also a world record holder in powerlifting and a national champion in kickboxing. Come to think of it, she played the best entire game of basketball ever. Welcome Danielle Colan.
After we lost that game to Libertyville, I left Dan Larson's class the next day in government. I had to leave because I was like in tears, but I'm glad we thought highly of it. I also spoke to Matucci, what was it, yesterday or the day before, and he said quote, not to worry about the time limit on speeches and just talk. So. I did bring my tissues. I'm gonna try to get through this. This is, I don't know why this week I've just been so emotional about this speech and being here and everything. So I'm gonna try to keep it together. But I am deeply moved and honored to be selected for the Stevenson High School Athletics Hall of Fame. I want to thank those that nominated me and those on the committee who respected and thought highly enough of my achievements to vote for me. I'd also like to thank Stevenson and Trish for creating and hosting this incredible forum to celebrate coaches, athletes, and supporters. And of course, congratulations to all the other inductees. I'm in very good company right now. I first want to thank my parents. They were not able to be here tonight or today. They're in South Carolina. And also my kids, my nieces, my nephews, my brothers or my brother who is here to support me. But I'd like to dedicate this induction speech to my high school coaches. And originally, Bob Shank, my track and volleyball coach, and Frank Matucci, my basketball coach, were supposed to be here. They had plane tickets and everything, but it didn't work out. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about them anyway because it's way easier than talking about myself. When I was 15 and walking the halls at Stevenson, I was a lanky freshman girl with a good work ethic, a fair amount of natural talent, and a high ponytail. I didn't come from a sports background in my childhood. There were no club teams or AU teams. I just danced and played some park district soccer. I was pretty much a blank slate. So these coaches were pretty amazing. Bob Shank, if you know him, he has a goofy sense of humor. And you also know his dedication to athletes. And we worked really hard, but we always had fun, always. And flash to me at the state championships doing handstands with my teammate before my state championship discus throw. And he knew that if you were having fun, you'd perform better. And I take that with me. If you know Frank Matucci, you know his propensity to talk your ear off about every girl's basketball statistics since 1982. As a sophomore, he was the new basketball coach and he stormed in with his Italian charisma and lofty visions of girls basketball domination. Flash to the sectional final of my senior year, 30-0, 9th in the nation, and our first loss to Libertyville in my last high school basketball game. I was devastated and maybe still am a little bit. But I don't think I ever fought for anything or any team and for one purpose so hard in my life. Frank was the ringleader and he made us believe. Pride, hustle, and dedication was our team motto, and I think I still live by that today. I'd be remiss also if I didn't mention Tom Kelly, who was our assistant basketball coach, and there was never a cooler, better role model for us. Like, we just all wanted to be you, so. Flash forward 30 years, and I'm in Montreal, Canada, standing on the podium listening to our national anthem as I receive my Masters World Championship gold medal in the snatch and the clean and jerk. That's Olympic style weightlifting. My coach, Mike Gattone, who is here today, was close by. And I mentioned this moment and I mentioned Mike because since high school I have never stopped being a competitive athlete. I'm programmed or something. And this, for me, was the culmination of my athletic career, the one that started here. I have been beyond blessed to have found the absolute best coaches to help me achieve my goals, coaches that cared and still care deeply about their athletes and me. I don't know how these amazing people happened to be at the same place at the same time that I was, but I am forever grateful. And I'm here now and it's pretty overwhelming. All of my coaches have been technicians and perfectionists when it came to teaching me the skills and the game and the technique. But we all know that in the end, sports end up being less about the X's and O's and more about the relationships we create, the character we develop, and the feelings that stay with us. Sometimes it takes 30 years later to realize that when you're at your own Hall of Fame induction. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I am feeling beyond blessed and thankful. Thank you.
Our next inductee changed girls golf throughout the state. She was on the frontier of younger girls hitting the long ball with amazing poise and touch around the greens. She was a two-time state champion, but she also chased state championships in her other 2 seasons playing for us and finished each of her 4 seasons as an all-state golfer. The golfers in the audience can put this into perspective. It means she had to play exceptionally great rounds of golf 15 times in a row against the state's top competition on 10 different golf courses, 15 times in a row. Just incredible. Steph Miller came down with a bug yesterday, but I want to welcome her as the best competitor that I ever coached, and now the youngest member of the Stevenson Hall of Fame. Congrats, Steph Miller.
Hi everybody, I just want to say I'm sorry I couldn't be there to be part of this awesome day being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm so honored and my heart is so warm to know that I have made such an impact on Stevenson High School women's golf and just women's golf in Illinois. And I just want to send out a couple special thank yous. Number one to Coach Canine and Coach Russin. They're the ones that really helped guide me through my high school career. They're the ones that had to really talk me off the ledge and back into good swing thoughts and playing the way Stephanie Miller can play. I know that they both have some fun stories that they could share about Stephanie Miller golf. It was never a smooth road, but there was a lot of good stories that would come from it, from trudging through the rain and snow, needing a nail file at state, and what else was there? All the bus rides and everything, and just the famous last words of loading the gun. So from my swing coach through my dad to Canine or Russin, all they would have to do is tell me exactly what we needed to do and I would just pull the trigger. So obviously next is going to be my swing coach, John Rees. He was really a huge part of my golf career because he is the one that got my swing to the point where I was pretty much unstoppable. I had so much confidence in my swing and we really had to work on the mental game, but he got my mental game there to get me to believe that I can really do anything, and it really showed on the golf course because I'm pretty sure we've all seen me hit some shots that probably shouldn't have been hit or didn't think that could be done, but somehow we did it. And it was really awesome to have those memories. And of course I want to thank my parents, my mom, who is no longer with us anymore. She's looking down and just smiling, knowing that her daughter has made such an impact, and it's a big accomplishment, and I know that she's really proud of me for getting this far. And of course my dad, he's my #1 fan, my biggest supporter, and he was there from day one. He's the one that got me into it. He went to every practice, every tournament, and was always there with the video camera, always just peeking around like this. I know that Coach can probably share a bunch of stories about my dad hiding in the trees and just around every corner with that video camera, but that's such a fun experience for me to have those videotapes, to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, of course, whether I want to or not. And that's just kind of what makes it so special for me, is that I can relive those moments if I really want to. But I also want to thank everybody else, my friends and family, staff of Stevenson, just who have supported me with the love and encouragement that you guys have. But I just want to also tell the girls that are coming up through the ranks and really performing at Stevenson that it's so awesome to see really good young professional females coming up and just kicking some butt. I hope my records and my time there at Stevenson and just Illinois golf in general has really lit some fires to make you guys want to play good and beat my records and be better than me, which I would love to see. I would love to see some girls just kick my records down and just be the best that they can be. And I just hope that all the girls who are in women's golf or who are thinking of playing golf really continue, because it takes you so far. I'm not playing professionally anymore, but my golf background has helped me so much throughout my career. And now that I'm in aviation, it's just an awesome way to network. People have such an enjoyment for golf, and it's something you can do with your friends, your family, forever. And I also work with an awesome company called Backswing Golf Events, who is women run, women owned, and it's so fun to just go out there and hit some shots, and people are amazed with young, awesome females who can hit a golf ball. So just keep it up, keep the hard work in, and go kick some records. But I just want to say thank you one more time to everybody, and go Pates!
I turn to coaches Bauman and Swan to help me with this one. No doubt that he belongs among the very best athletes at Stevenson. An incredible three-sport athlete, a wonderful, humble kid, good student, great athlete, great character. Great kids come in many packages. He was built like a greyhound. Not sure if he ever weighed more than 155 pounds, but he attacked tacklers like a pit bull. Sorry, not home to dig out statistics. Congrats to Todd Schmickey.
Well, just want to first off echo the sound of so many others that have been up here and to say we're so humbled that we are up here today to accept this achievement, this great achievement on behalf of our father, Todd Schmickey. If he were here today, he would probably do this speech a little bit different than my sister and I. For one, he would have probably found a way to, of course, downplay his many achievements, and that was just part of his very humble character. And for two, and anyone that knew our father, he just had this notorious sense of humor and kind of way that could light up a room and make really anybody laugh. So he would have probably relied on that and his ability to deliver serious punchlines. So all to say that you're stuck with my sister and I, and we're not going to try to do his jokes justice, because we would probably fail miserably. But instead, we will go with his accomplishments because of that ceremony. So Dad talked about his days at Stevenson often, and when he did, they always revolved around stories of his baseball team, his basketball team, and just the pride that he had for this place was always evident through these stories. It was easy to see his pride through things like him yelling, 78 was great at the annual Lincoln Tire Parade, or how growing up at our sports competitions, he would always find a way to cheer on Stevenson athletics, even though we would remind him that that was one of our biggest competitors, and he thought he was being discreet, but usually wasn't. So it's clear through his stories, his many stories of going to school here, just how much pride that he had, and these memories and these lessons, they really stuck with him throughout his life, and they contributed to the values that he had, values that we were raised on, values that were centered around resilience, dignity, and pride and teamwork. So after a strong recommendation from his Stevenson coach, our father moved on as a walk-on player at U of I under Coach Tom Dedden. Our father worked hard while playing ball for the Illini. He was relentless in his pursuit to prove his abilities to his coach and his teammates. He quickly went from a walk-on player to a standout player. By his senior year, he led Illinois in both stolen bases and runs scored. He even broke the school record for the most career stolen bases, a record that he proudly held until 2012. Undoubtedly, his accomplishments on the field were impressive, but far more impressive was the man that he was off the field, which led to many lifelong friendships.
Tom Dutton wrote us a personal letter after our dad passed. He of course spoke of the incredible player and athlete that he was, but what touched us the most of Tom's words was the lasting impression that was left on him. He was a true team player on the field and in life, always putting others before himself. His selfless nature, relentless optimism, and resilience was what contributed to the athlete that he was and ultimately his successes. His physical abilities, coupled with his strong character, is what truly set him apart and made him like no other. On behalf of our family, we are very proud of the legacy that our father, Todd Schmidt-Keith, left on the game of baseball and athletics here at Stevenson. We are humbled by his recognition and his acceptance into the 2021 Stevenson Hall of Fame. Our hope is that he's remembered for his love and passion for the game, but also his vivacious spirit and unwavering compassion for others. Thank you.
We know you're a special Stevenson athlete when Coach Bob Mackey, typically short on words, can recount storied details about your athletic career the entire way up a long chairlift ride at Deer Valley. And according to Coach Mackey, our next inductee was elected as captain by his teammates for every team he played on and was a fan favorite wherever he played baseball. You could always count on him to do the right thing in every situation and is genuinely one of the nicest people I have ever been around. Please welcome Boomer Whipple.
Thank you very much. How about a round of applause for Todd's daughters? I knew your father, and he would have been really proud. Very humbled to be here. I know I echo what a lot of people have said. I mean, watching, listening to everybody else who's been up here today. It's I love my time here at Stevenson, and it's a real honor to be up here. Thank you to those kind comments. My mom bolted, so I'm going to wait to thank her until she gets back. But you know, if one of the things that I see in that brochure is the single season assist record, and the basketball program has taken off since Coach Ambrose took over. But I'm reminded of that once a winter because they now have like a leaderboard in the sports center. And if you've ever been in there and you see it, it's like Brunson, Whipple, Brunson. And not a winter goes by where I get like a text from one of my buddies or my neighbors, and they always show that board, and the message underneath is like, is this a joke? What are you doing up there? So, and I love to explain it. I'd like to talk a little bit about basketball because the 4 other starters my senior year all went on to play college sports. I was a point guard. My best friend, the only other senior in the starting 5, Ron Smith, he went on to break the all 3-point record at Wheaton College. Chris Piggott, who's in the Hall of Fame, he went on to play baseball at Creighton. Eric Roth was our center. He went on to play basketball at Columbia University. And Chris Colan was our superstar, whoever was here at that time. He went on to play at South Florida and Northern Illinois. So to steal a line from Terry Bradshaw, I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. I would dribble up and look for one of those 4, and they would score, assist, Whipple. So that's how you break records. I want to thank my coaches for basketball, Ken Johnson, Paul Swan. He's not here, I know, but I love him dearly. And one of the highlights, the highlight of my athletic career, our senior year, 25-3. We beat Warren the last game of the regular season to win in overtime to win the North Suburban Conference, and again, that was before Coach Ambrose. That was the first championship in 11 years for the basketball program. Really enjoyed my time. Coach Cottage was my coach my junior year, and I really enjoyed the basketball seasons here at Stevenson. When I get to the baseball side, very appreciative of the coaches that I had. Johnny Ostrander, my freshman year, Craig Sincor, my sophomore year, and Coach Taylor, who's here today, and Coach Breen, and Coach Mackey is the best coach I ever had. They prepared me to succeed at the next level. And you don't know that when you're going through it. I think Danielle may have mentioned that. You don't know it, you don't realize it. You know, you're at the practices, you're like, come on, let's go. Yeah, I know, go through these mental skills training and all these fundamentals. But when I got to college, it was clear that I was ahead of the game. And so I had an opportunity to play right away, and that was because I was prepared. And I was prepared due to the training that I had from my high school coaches. So I'll be forever grateful to that. My parents are here, my mom and my dad. Thank you to my family. I had great parents, very supportive all throughout my career in every sport. I don't think my dad missed a single Southeastern Conference baseball game my 4 years at school, so I appreciate that. And so he played baseball at Lake Forest College. I like to think I got some of my ability from him. My mom is here. We love to play golf. If you ever played a round of golf, you'd realize that she's the most competitive of all the Whipples. So I think I got my competitiveness from her. I have an older sister and a younger sister that also played, or went to Stevenson and played sports, so I wish they, unfortunately they couldn't be here. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Gabriella. My oldest son is a junior. He's at baseball practice right now for high school. My 8th grade daughter is at a competitive dance competition in Elmhurst. But my youngest, Brandon's here, B-Dog, is in 4th grade. Thank you for being here. And one last quick story about baseball and how much I really appreciate my coaches. I played shortstop all throughout my career. It seems the freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, and didn't play another position. And then back then, after your spring season, it was a little more simple. You played Legion ball. Now they've got all these clubs and stuff. And I'll never forget, Coach Breen came up to me before Legion ball and said, I've talked to Coach Taylor and I've talked to Coach Mackey, and this summer you're going to play a lot of second base and third base. And I was like, you know, didn't you hear? I'm going to Vanderbilt, I'm playing the SEC, and shortstop. And he's like, slow your roll, Chief. When you get down there, most of the kids on that team probably played shortstop in high school. We think that you have a chance to hit at the next level, but you need to find your way onto the field somehow. And we think that if you learn to play multiple positions, you'll have a chance to play right away. So begrudgingly, that summer I played second, played third, whatever, shortstop. Got to Vanderbilt, got to Nashville, went through the fall season, and the first game of my freshman year I was a starting second baseman. Played there for 5 games. Our third baseman got hurt. After 5 games, they moved me over to third, played there for 4 years. So just for them to have the foresight and to think about me really means a lot. All of them came to see me play when I was either in college or in pro ball. So really enjoy my time here at Stevenson, and very thankful to all of them for everything they did for me. Thank you.
And at a school of more than 4,000 students from 17 different communities, legacies are just too rare. But our last inductee has been part of 2 epic legacies. One as an unrivaled student competitor, learning his craft from his Hall of Fame father, and the other as a builder of his own championship program, considered to be the state's best. Congratulations to Sean Wimer.
So I don't know how to do this. And I'm sure some people here would think I would revel in an opportunity to get in front of a microphone and talk about myself. No, Doug and Art, not quite. I actually only like talking about my teams. I love it very much because for me, team success is what it's always been about. Never about the I or the me, it's always been about the us and the we. And man, this is wild. Dr. Twaddell was my freshman world history teacher. Bob Taylor was my freshman science teacher. This is all coming together. The entire time I've been involved with sports, going back to Wanland Little League at age 5 to now as a coach, it's who I am, it's how I was raised, it's what I've taken away from my dad's coaching. And quite honestly, team success is what I enjoy about team sports, and just sports in general. That's why I do what I do. What's behind the curtain? I know my fellow coaches will tell you self-belief and eternal optimism. I always believe we can and should win no matter what. And my belief in my team knows no bounds. So just to quote Mike Dicker real quick, it's pretty simple. If you think you can, then you have a chance. If you think you can't, then you won't. So pretty straightforward, and it's how I approach every day. Now on to the thank yous. First, thank you to the school board and the administration and the Hall of Fame committee for having this. This is pretty fantastic. It didn't even exist 4 years ago. Congrats to the past and current inductees. It's pretty cool to be a part of this. So I don't feel like I measure up to some of these people, but it's still pretty cool. Thank you to my former teammates, especially Kevin Zakshevsky, Mike Levitt, and Tom DeBorsey. We had a lot of fun, but when we got here, and Doug can attest to this, we were terrible. We were the best athletes on the team as freshmen and sophomores, and there was no real future in sight. We were hoping to not be last place in the conference. So by the time we were seniors, we were trophying at multiple different states. In both swimming, I think we were fourth, and in water polo, we were third and fourth back-to-back years. So we've come a long way. Kevin's now on the coaching staff with Patriot Aquatic Club as a head coach, and I'm the head boys water polo coach. And we've come a long way, and that's because of the standards and expectations we set for ourselves as athletes, and then when we came back as coaches. So it's been a long way. To my water polo coaches, Irvin Chilak, Darren Kopecki, and Bridget Krzyzewskis, thank you for helping me develop my fundamentals and giving me a different look at different play styles. When I grew up, I came up playing for my dad, and I knew one way and one way only, his way. So thank you to them. They helped me grow as a person and as an athlete. Thank you to my swim coach, Doug Lillydahl, who was my swim coach here all 4 years at Stevenson. You're the most cerebral coach I've ever been around. And now I have the privilege to coach alongside you, so that's pretty damn cool. You were always encouraging and honest with us, and I like the phrase, kind but firm. Also, thank you to the current swim team coaching staff. Art and Amy, Kristen, Rick are not here, but we won our first swimming state championship about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And again, that's a testament to the hard work those coaches put in, so it was cool to be a part of. Thank you to my former and current athletes. You guys are the reason why I continue to do this. I don't do it for glory, I don't do it for fame. I do it because I enjoy attacking new tasks and obstacles every day, month, year, week, whatever, and attacking those with you and reaching new heights. Thank you to my former assistant coaches over the past 16 years, Vanessa Schmidt, Kevin, Yvonne Munoz, John Haga, Greg Hartman, most importantly, Rose. Thank you to my current staff, Bridget, Mike Kashevskis, and Joe Gibson. Thank you to John Martin, 16 years ago, looking at a 23-year-old and taking a chance on me. I was not ready, and I've learned a lot along the way. But he clearly saw something. So, thank you to the athletic department staff, both past and present. You are the engine that makes this thing tick, and it also makes our jobs a lot easier. Thank you to Trish for your constant support and your tireless efforts behind the scenes. None of our success is possible without you. I know I keep repeatedly telling you that, even if it's via text message after I watch the girls' basketball championship on TV. You are the engine that makes this thing go. I've always been a believer that attitude is a reflection of leadership, and you're one of the best leaders I've ever been around. So probably think I'm kissing up here, but I mean that when I say you're the best athletic director around, and it's not close. You don't miss a detail. Thank you to my sister Keely. You've always been my biggest fan. I don't think I've ever had a bad game or a day in your eyes. You always saw the positives and were the biggest cheerleader in both high school and college. To my mom and dad, thank you for literally everything. Your love, support, criticism, your constant help with childcare now. It's always been genuine and true. I will always be thankful for that. Whether it was my mom consoling me on the couch after we blew a 6-0 lead in the state semifinals my senior year, or flying out probably every other weekend to Los Angeles to watch me play in college. Or just being there for us when we won our first state championship for the water polo team in 2017. I love you both, and you mean the world to me. To my kids, Connor and Maggie, thank you for being you and allowing me to be shared with all these other kids. My favorite moment as a coach came last year, and it wasn't playing as an athlete in the NCAA Final Fours or winning state titles as a coach. It was when my son Connor walked across the bulkhead and presented me my Lake County Athletics Hall of Fame plaque. That was incredible. I'll never forget that. I love you guys. To Rose, you're the best coach of all of us. You helped me evolve, simplify things, wholly changed me as a coach. Never won a state trophy as a coach until you joined our staff back in 2013. And it's no coincidence we won 5 state trophies in a row. You're the love of my life, and I'm so thankful I had the opportunity to build that with you. And now we're back to just being husband and wife, so it's good. We spend too much time worrying about what's happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. So I'll take this time in the present to enjoy this moment. But I have a 1 o'clock game against Naperville Central. Thank you, everybody.